Coming up tonight, President Paul Biya appoints some administrators and a few secretaries general of regions at a time when keeping law and order and other strategic considerations are primordial in Cameroon. Cameroonians await the full functioning of the National Mining Corporation created to stop disorder and channel mining resources to development, not corrupt private pockets. Teachers advise parents to continue COVID-19 barrier measures at home as Christmas break is announced. The details right now. Thanks for watching the 7:30 news on Crtv. I am Moki Edwin Kinzeka in Yaoundé.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
President Paul Biya yesterday signed a number of decrees appointing divisional officers, secretaries generals in the governor's office, and especially senior divisional officers. These appointments respond to a need of keeping law and order and stemming the tides of insecurity, as well as strategic considerations. Chief Unity Palace correspondent Ashu Nyenti has the rest of that story.
Out of 58 divisions, 18 have their SDOs moved or appointed in the important decree signed by President Paul Biya this 18th December 2020. It is a mixed basket of relatively young and very experienced hands in territorial administration. President Biya desires to pump in new blood and continue the line of dynamism as well as ensuring professional mobility as the country prepares for end-of-year festivities with their melange of security and law and order challenges. Beyond these, strategic considerations also explain these movements. It is unusual for Mfundi Division, the seat of national institutions, to be for long without an SDO. This was the case since the death of Jean-Claude Chila several months ago. Jigteng Emmanuel Mariel will thus be taking the reins of power in a division that has one of the host cities of the Shan that rumbles off in only a few weeks. Yaoundé needs to be quiet, security-wise. It is also noted that none of the SDOs in the English-speaking regions has been moved. This is a possible indication that the security situation in the two restive regions is stabilizing, if not progressing. No need, therefore, to rock the boat. These appointments depend on the discretionary powers of the head of state, but it is easy to note that all the appointees enjoy an enviable track record. They have several years of administrative and territorial experience below their belt. In a similar vein, the appointment of inspectors general in the regional services is also another shouting commitment of Paul Biya to ensure that decentralization with the expected election of regional council and regional assembly presidents has another technical stick to lean on. These authorities have the task of ensuring that this country continues to live in peace and tranquility.
The presidential decree creating the National Mining Corporation, SONAMINE, has rekindled hopes and expectations among Cameroonians that order will at last reign in the sector hitherto marked by corruption and a disorganized sector for that effect. But what are the implications of the decree? What will change and when? Luma Slim Davis spoke with the Minister of Mines and Technological Development, Gabriel Ndodondoke. Let's listen.
SONAMINE is an instrument that will permit our country to capitalize what we have. The mining resources have to be protected and have to be capitalized. SONAMINE will be the eye of the state near the investors in the sector mining to guarantee what is the changes that SONAMINE brings The coming of Sonamin is the first change, because yesterday we didn't have a company as SNH in the sector of mining. Today, Sonamin will guarantee all the production of our mining.
From a doctor to a professor, Kelly Kingsley Moore has been handed attributes of professor in forensic accounting from Coppertone University of Zambia. A college of professors conferred him the title in a ceremony at the International Relations Institute of Cameroon, that is at Eric. Yves Formoso has more.
Dance moves of the grass field, peppered with sounds of drum patterns, loud enough to herald Kelly Kingsley Moore to full professorship. Clad in an academic regalia, Kelly Kingsley Moore received attributes of a full professor from a college of professors.
By virtue of the powers entrusted in me, do confer to you, Dr. Kelly Moore Kingsley, the professorship in forensic accounting and audit.
Having attained the peak in academics, his theories, notably in conducting forensic research, auditing, and analyzing financial data, singled him out.
My idea is to see how we can bring a more scientific tool that can help us to better enhance the fight against financial racketeering in public money.
A decade of studies, 14 publications, 50 article reviews, and a PhD thesis brilliantly defended at the Coppertone University in Zambia. An example worth emulating.
Kelly has sacrificed a lot of his life, a lot of his comfort for his students, for his research, in order to be able to find out something which is new on the earth.
Professor Kelly Kingsley Moore joins the over 3 million professors worldwide to make an impact in social sciences, notably forensic accounting.
Schools in Cameroon are taking a break for Christmas and New Year festivities, with administrators underscoring a need for COVID-19 barrier measures not to be relented. The school administrators are equally assessing efforts made at their establishments against the pandemic. Gerard Nanji Eyambe has the rest of that story.
It is the end of the first term for the 2020-2021 school year, and school administrations are appraising efforts made in fighting against COVID-19.
The students and the staff and the administration have been observing stringently the COVID barrier measures set in place. For that reason, we have not registered any situation of any symptoms of COVID-19.
Notwithstanding some challenges faced in barring the way to the virus, school authorities are leaving no stone unturned.
We don't have pipe-borne water because of this challenge that has come with the pandemic. When there is no water, we cannot fill the containers for students and staff to wash their hands.
The students, for their part, are not only educated on the dangers of contracting the virus, but are themselves very cautious.
The first method is to wash our hands every morning with soap and water.
Whenever I go close to my classmate, I make sure I put on my face mask.
Christian Comprehensive Secondary School in Kombong, just like Government Bilingual High School in Mana, are amongst the many institutions that have not relented efforts in fighting against the pandemic.
As school children leave for Christmas holiday, most teachers regret that they have been able to cover only about 85% of their syllabus for the first term. Unlike in the past, when the first term lasted 4 months, this year only 3 months were covered because of COVID-19. Yotsi Kalelisonge tells us more.
A modified school calendar imposed by COVID-19 as a result.
The first term was very short. We have many pedagogies days, and the teachers didn't cover their programs.
They're not the only ones faced with such a situation. Teachers of Government Bilingual High School ASOS have a similar plight.
Unlike in the past when we used to begin school in September, this time it started in October. We do a synthesis and see exactly what percentage they have covered.
Another factor that made it more difficult here is the implementation of the two-shift system.
From 8 hours, we are having 5 hours now.
At this opposite class, the teacher may not have completed his syllabus, but he knows just what to do.
I've covered at least 85% for this term, and we are also going to be doing e-learning.
The school administration is also considering certain catch-up measures.
Maybe ask the minister to permit us even extend to Saturday classes, or we could ask that examination classes could even have full time.
The first term may not have been quite fulfilling for teachers, but they are sure to meet the target next term.
Trade officials in Cameroon have reassured consumers on the availability of goods of basic necessities in markets across the country during this end of year. This follows an inspection visit led by Trade Minister Luc Magouan BrigadeAntiSardinard to several storage facilities in the nation's capital to ascertain the quality and quantity of stock of goods. Crise was there.
Availability and affordability of basic products are what trade officials were on the field to assess. Rice, flour, sugar, milk, fish and other consumables whose presence on the various markets is determined by what quantities are found in warehouses. Dealers in the different goods gave the assurance about ensuring that buyers will not be left in the cold during this end-of-year period, a situation made even more complex because of the impact of COVID-19 on domestic and global commercial activities.
Products are available. This is very sure. The second hand is the price, of course. And what I can say clearly is that the prices are affordable. So all the conditions to have a successful end of year. People can go to the market, they will find what they want.
While inspecting the merchandise in the storage facilities, emphasis was on quality and quantity. Two things distributors were told to pay attention to, without which they may have to face the consequences if found guilty of unscrupulous business practices.
A group of youths in Bamenda in the Northwest region has been trained to be peace crusaders in their communities by sensitizing their peers on the virtues of living together. While Cameroon, a non-governmental organization, believes such a training can bring back normalcy to the Northwest region. Mebin Mikem tells us more from Bamenda.
It is the youthful population that sustains the largely informal economy of the Northwest region. But lately, this category has come under scrutiny for extreme radicalism, stirring the current unrest. This Bamenda workshop is described by the organizers as an anti-radicalism therapy.
We brought together 20 youths from across the Northwest region today, and I think with the tools acquiring here today, it will give them a better platform and create a safer space for each of them to contribute in their own little way in nation building and communal development.
The participants, who have been spearheading works of common interest like cleanup campaigns, are focal points for development.
Back in Oko, I've been doing enough. I've been organizing cleanup campaigns. Just like before I was coming here, we had works of common interest in the Elap Oko Council. With this workshop, I have enough in mind to go back and implement in Oko.
The youths have also been reminded of their role in decentralization, which involves designing and submitting developmental projects to their councils.
Cameroonians in the diaspora have been encouraged to invest in their home country. State Property and Land Tenure Minister Henry Ayese was speaking during an audience he granted to a network of parliamentarians, diaspora, decentralized and cross-border cooperation. Jamila Kadzalat completes that story.
Cameroonians living abroad will soon have the ability to own land in their different towns of origin. This is the outcome of an audience granted by the Minister of State Property and Land Tenure to the network of parliamentarians, diaspora, decentralized and cross-border cooperation.
The Minister of Finance, the government globally, is working to assure, let's say, institutional support to diaspora, to help that the members of the diaspora to acquire, to receive from the government secured plots for the investment in general.
The rep court headed by Louis-Henri Ngacha says the partnership is a milestone in efforts to promote economic growth.
They are preparing to secure lands or plots which should be reserved for the diaspora. This is the first thing. And the second one is that there will be a platform of cooperation between the parliament and the ministry.
The network of parliamentarians, diaspora, decentralized and cross-border cooperation is a framework created by the President of the National Assembly for permanent exchange between parliamentarians and Cameroonians living abroad.
Senators of the Central Region have donated 19 computers and cash prizes to meritorious students of the Collège Notre Dame of Minmetala in the Mefo and Afama division of the Central Region. The gifts were handed over to them recently by the group of senators of the Central Region led by its president Sylvestre Na Ondua. Senate correspondent Charles Anyangwe was there. His report.
The Collège Notre Dame of Minmetala in the Mefo and Afamba division is one of the schools that has benefited from the largesse of the group of senators of the Central Region.
Christmas is very close. You brought a computer. You give them some money to help them.
Give some gifts to the students of this college. All the students of this region be very serious, very studious to take care of their studies so that our region always go ahead.
In all, 19 computers and cash prizes of 25,000 francs were distributed to each of these meritorious students of the school. The gesture was saluted by the recipients.
I'm feeling really grateful for the gifts given to us from the senators.
The principal of the college, Sister Nomo Philomene Bernadette, thanked the group of senators for the gesture and presented the problems of lack of a fence and a means of transportation for the school. Senator Sylvestre Na Ondua promised to look into the problems raised and stated why they had to donate gift to this school in Minmetala.
We want to encourage this establishment by forming our young children.
The gesture made by senators of the Central Region is just one among several others to be carried out in all the 10 divisions of the center.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
On to a COVID-19 slot. Let's now look at or move to this tweet from the Minister of Public Health, which reads, following the high-level instructions of the Head of State, President Paul Biya, I would like to make it clear that tests for both those departing from and arriving in Cameroon remain free, but we insist on the systematic testing of passengers landing in our country. It is signed by the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malashi. It just came in now. On to the West Region, a 50-year-old woman by name Honorine Jemna Kamdem is first winner of the MTN Promo DOPT 2020 in that part of the country. The woman, now called MTN Brand Ambassador, has received a new Suzuki S-Prezo in a crowd-pulling event in Bafoussam. Details with Calvin Nembo.
It's incredible but real. This woman, Honorine Jamnia Kamdem, simply did a lot of MTN Momo transactions of above 5,000 CFA francs, equally subscribed to numerous MTN packages of at least 250 CFA francs, and is today a lucky winner of a brand new Suzuki S-Prezo. During a heavily attended ceremony at the Tuungang neighborhood in Bafoussam, marked by several stage performances, the officials of MTN Cameroon call on attendees to join them celebrate MTN's 20 years of quality service by simply dialing the usual bundle codes.
It's a very simple exercise. We ask you to load your phone, that is, you buy a bundle
an internet bundle. It could be internet, it could be maybe calls or SMSs. You just have to load 250 francs in your phone. When you buy a bundle of 250 francs or above, from 250 francs and above, you are eligible.
Today, 9.5 out of 10 Cameroonians live within range of MTN network, which covers more than 7,400 localities across the country. MTN's network had 10 million subscribers as of December 31, 2019. The more reason for customers to remain loyal to the #1 mobile telephone operator.
We celebrate with everybody. So please join us on the celebration and let's make it a beautiful 2020.
From November 21, 2020 to February 19, 2021, every Cameroonian stands the chance of winning either a brand new car or 20,000 francs every 20 minutes, a total of 20 million by the end of the promo. Honorin Jamnia Camden won the 4th car. 16 are left. Why not dial the magic number? For you might just be the next lucky winner.
Thousands of Muslims in Banyo have prayed for God's guidance and protection for themselves, their families, and Cameroon as they go through the year 2020. The prayer called the Dua was presided at by the Lamida of Banyo in the Adamawa region, His Majesty Muhammad Gabdoyaya. Elvis Waji Banme reports from Banyo.
The Mayo Banyo division in 2020 witnessed high indicators of peace and prosperity thanks to frequent prayers organized in the area. These are the words of the 16th traditional and spiritual leader of the division as he led one of the most important prayer sessions of the year.
Since 1997, I'm organizing this kind of special prayers for the security of Mayo Banyo, of Adamawa, of the whole Cameroon.
Over 100 religious leaders like imams elevated words of worship to Allah while praying for total protection against any form of pandemic.
If you fear something, beg God to prevent you. You know God is there, and He is God the protector. He can save you. Since the corona arrived in our country, we are begging, we are praying.
As the year draws to an end, the leader has also called on the population to remain prayerful and disciplined.
Council executives of Bikok in the Central Region and Kumba in the Southwest Region have taken function with calls to work for the development of their localities. The installation ceremony conducted in Bikok by administrative officials and the board meeting or the council meeting in Kumba were presided over by administrative or were attended by administrative authorities. Details in this joint report.
The population of Bikok in joy and rounds of applause officially welcomed Madame Christiane Odette Otu, new mayor of the Bikok Council, a leader, entrepreneur, and bearer of lots of projects to help society. She is decorated Knight of the National Order of Valor, a special recognition from the head of state.
I seized this opportunity to make her present her attribute as deputy mayor for her population who have elected her in the 9th of February 2020. I know she's full of energy and she's full of projects. I just want the population of this municipality to work together with her to make her fulfill this dream. And the dream is for the well-being of the population of her council.
This, she says, will only be possible by the help of God, whom she implored at a Thanksgiving service at the St. Fabien Bikok Parish in the presence of family, friends, and well-wishers.
With the enormous challenges faced in the municipality, authorities of Kumbawan are working tirelessly to ensure the council stands on its feet. The 2021 financial year stands at over 605 million francs CFA, both in revenue and expenditure. The sum of 305 million francs as revenue, while investment revenue stands at over 300 million francs, giving 50.36% of the total expenditure. As opposed to last year, the 2021 budget has witnessed a decrease. The new municipal treasurer for Kumbawan Council, Mr. Simon Sona Makia, who took over from Mrs. Regina Mbu, now transferred to the Kumba 3 Council.
Farmers in Gomezab in the central region have been showcasing farm produce and getting tips on better farming methods. The maiden edition of the Agro-Pastoral Forum to last 4 days was launched by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Gabriel Bairobe. Gertrude Lekate Hasonganzi reports from CRTV Center.
The first ever Agro-Pastoral Forum holding in Gomejab is intended for farmers in the area to show their farm produce and share knowledge on how to improve farm yields. For 4 days, youth will be trained on the new techniques involved in the cultivation of cocoa, yams, fish farming and animal husbandry.
We have cocoa that we transform here, we have chocolate, and we have butter, and also we have the grain of chocolate that are there. In the other side, we have the plantain.
It should be noted that the Olama Kribi Road passes through Gomejab in the Nyong and So division, which is one of the huge economic baskets of the central region. Reason why the Socio-Economic Forum has been organized to give more visibility to farmers and their products. To officially open the forum, where the ministers for trade, small and medium-sized enterprises, livestock, employment, and other partners.
We continue our countdown to the African Nations Championship tonight in Limbe and Boya that will be hosting Group D teams of the tournament. Both towns are blessed with outstanding hotels and appreciable road network. Bodin Sama reports on the readiness of communication and lodging infrastructure ahead of the games.
Most of the hotels used during the 2016 Women's Africa Cup of Nations have been retained for the 2020 African Nations Championship in the Southwest. In Boya, 2 renowned hotels of international standards will be used. In both hotels, the weight is telling of how ready they are to showcase the town's legendary hospitality to Zambia and Namibia. In Limbe, players and officials will have their legs in their rooms with a beautiful view of the sea, a view to spice the stay of the different delegations. The rooms meet international standards and they are of high quality, recommended for such football competitions. One of the hotels offers modern lodging facilities, a large keep fit center for massage to be used by players and officials. Driving on well-tarred roads in Limbe and Boya would be a pleasure to the different guests as these 2 towns are blessed with a good road network. The Limbe Municipal Stadium has good access roads, well-structured parking lot, good enough to attract many others wishing to visit these 2 towns during the African Nations Championship.
And that ends the 7:30 news on CRTV. The next news is coming up at 8:30. That's in 30 minutes from now with Ata Banid Omar. I am Moki Edwin Kinzaka in Yaoundé. Thank you for watching.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing.
Aguero to his right. Aguero, he hit it first time, but it was De Bruyne. Can he get something away? He does do.